Welcome back to our CrossFit Games audience on games.crossfit.com. We have all the athletes from the 2014 Reebok CrossFit Invitational presented by HGST. But first, we're going to catch up with this year's champions, Team USA. And Mr. Khalip, I'm going to start with you. You've taken all 3 podium spots. You just told me that even winning the CrossFit Games doesn't really compare to the honor of winning the Invitational. I want to hear about why that is.
When you win the CrossFit Games, it's an amazing experience, but you win or lose based on your own ability, and so you can only celebrate it with yourself. When you have a team like this, and especially the way we won it tonight, where we were behind and we came from behind, it just means so much because you watch the rest of your team all suffer for the good of this unit, and so we could all celebrate together for the upcoming year. Just honored to be a part of it.
Rich. Last year after Berlin, you said that you wish you'd taken a little bit more of a leadership role. Do you feel like you accomplished that this year?
I think we, coming in, Becca established dominance, as Jason would say. But she did a great job just with team building stuff, with having a plan going into workouts, into sessions. We got together. We did a lot of team building activities. We lost a few events in our team building activities, but it was a great time. I think with this group, there's no real need to take a leadership role. It's more of calm Jason down sometimes when he gets fired up. So I think I did my job this year. So thank you.
Okay, so then if not for that reason, what was the 305-pound snatch all about?
Why not?
Just for the fans?
Yeah, just for the fans. And we needed some weight there. So it felt good. Felt real good.
Right on. Becca, it's your first time in this role. How do you feel about the outcome?
Oh, I'm extremely happy about this outcome. It's exactly where it should have been. It's a different role. It's really a surreal, experience just because I wanted to be out there. I had to stay on my little mat and hope for the best, and I was pacing around like a mad woman.
But you did a fantastic job, and then Julie, finally, there had to be some moment where there was oh no, not again, early on in the competition. When did that happen for you guys? That you're afraid that maybe you weren't going to be able to pull it off in the end because you guys really took all 5 events for you to win.
Oh, I don't think that ever happened. I don't think we get discouraged by coming from behind, and we knew that we'd be able to work really well together in the last event, and so it put us in a good spot to finish it out strong.
Well, congratulations. I got the fittest woman on earth right here, and you guys started with the lead. Walk me through what actually went wrong for you. Where did it fall apart?
Nothing went wrong. We're super proud of ourselves. I think.
Where did we lose the lead?
I think we just went out there and we did everything we could, and that's it. Like there's no something went wrong or anything. We gave everything we got, and we stumbled a little at the end, but it was still everything we got.
Cool. So everybody was walking a little bit funny, or running. It was kind of a run to the end of that first 45 and 45. Can you tell me how that felt?
That felt like I was going to run as fast / survive to the mat to try to win that event. So I couldn't feel my legs, and Paul couldn't feel his leg. But when we both passed the line and we won that, it didn't matter. So we're pretty stoked.
Nice. Let's go, Mr. Castro. Dave, you when these guys entered into event number 4, you walked by and when you saw the women going, you're like, maybe a little bit more tough than I thought it would be. Tell me about the programming and how it played out versus what you thought it would be.
I was happy with the programming. That workout, that hold, in hindsight, was a little aggressive. It at that stage, after doing all those other things, maybe could have gone a little lighter, but and I say that because we went past our time cap by a lot. It took to have any teams finish that, we had to extend the time cap, and we couldn't cap a workout like that if no one's even done. And so it was the right thing to do when, we kind of, I don't want to say over-programmed, but the loading was a little aggressive. In testing with fresh teams, almost everyone's able to do that, to hold the weight for 30 calories. But after all those workouts, that's not the case.
Let's
Ask
go.
Emily something. You didn't ask her anything.
Well, Emily, you've been having an amazing breakout year. You've been on the verge for a couple of years, and this is basically the cherry on top of an amazing year. So just how does it feel to be part of the team and to have the year that you had?
Yeah, this year has been incredible. This is an amazing way to top it off. I couldn't ask for better teammates, and I'm glad that the guys got redemption this year. So yeah, I'm just proud to be a part of it.
Kara, can we catch up? I know that we've talked about this, but I'm not sure that everybody at home has heard. This is the first time we saw you handstand walk after the games, for example, where you were sitting in a wonderful position and had to pull yourself out. How did it go? You looked fantastic, but how did it feel?
I was absolutely terrified. I don't think I've ever been more afraid in my life of mainly doing it in front of people all over again. And, I had my team behind me and they said, who gives a beep? What happens, it doesn't matter. It's do the best you can. And honestly, I'm really excited that I did it. I wanted a fire back in my belly after, something tragic that happened to me. And I made it to the end and I'm feeling okay. So thanks to my team for carrying me through it. I'm really stoked.
Outstanding. Annie, congratulations. Annie, you had to sit out last year. You're back. You had an amazing year as well. How was it different than watching last year's Invitational?
It's a little bit more fun to participate than being the one asking the athletes questions and kind of wishing I was there. So it wasn't, I'm going to say it was easier to be in this situation than the one last year.
All right, Rich and Jason, we've heard a lot, and even Julie, you've said that this is going to be your last year of competition. So what's next for you?
For me? We're just taking it day by day right now. We'll see how it goes. I think if NorCal can put together a team that enjoys the experience and can make it to the games, I'm all for it. If not, then I'll get in a commentator role and focus on family and business, everything else that's going on. Or maybe I'll try and get in a commentator role.
Pass it on to Julie. This is the first time that I've heard you say this, that 2015 would be your last year. Why are you making that decision?
This is going to be my last year competing, and then I'm going to go back to school full time, and maybe you'll see me in the Masters in quite a few years.
And then Rich, same question.
I guess I'm like Jason. If I don't make it as a team, we'll see what goes on. But with CrossFit Mayhem, hopefully you'll see us at the games.
I'm assuming you're not going anywhere, right? So you guys actually, you switched shirts. Is that kind of a European-Canadian thing? Tell me about it.
I think we're celebrating right now, bringing the world together, and it's pretty. I think it's awesome now that we can have like 4 groups that represent the whole world together, and I just want to have like souvenir from these guys too. Why is everyone doing bad stuff behind? Are you guys doing stuff behind us? So I think we all respect and love each other, so I want to have something to bring back from them too, not just my Canadian shirt, but I like having another shirt.
Nice. Dave, let's talk. This is an extremely successful year. So you told me there's some exciting things coming up as well. So what's next for this event and for the next season?
2015 is going to have some cool things we're going to introduce. The Open is going to be the same with a few additional components. We're going to have a scale division for the first time, so people can do the standard open workouts, and if they want, they can scale. So we'll have options for that.
Why are you looking at me when you're talking about that?
Because you're so fucked up. We have to. You're going to be. Are we on ESPN?
No.
Okay, cool. We're also going to have country champions that we crown in the Open and state champions. We've never done that before, so there'll be some ways to isolate who won each state, who won by country via the Open. And finally with the Open, It's going to remain the same, 17 regionals. 17, let's call them regional, 17 open qualifying realms, the old regionals, but they're going to consolidate into essentially what we're inside the house right now calling super regionals. They're not going to be called super regionals. We don't know what we're going to call them yet, but let's take the example of NorCal. In the open, NorCal will be competing against NorCal, but we'll take the top 20 finishers in NorCal, and they're going to compete against the top 20 finishers in SoCal in one super region. So there'll be 40 athletes total in this California region represented by NorCal and SoCal. From that, we'll take 5 people to the games. Northwest, Canada West are combined, Northeast, Canada East, Asia, and Australia are combined. Those breakouts, Asia's not going to get 20, and Australia 20. That'll be more like a 30 and 10. Africa and Europe are combined, and then some of the other regionals in the States are combined. And it'll increase the excitement of regionals. There'll be heats of just really strong athletes throughout all 4 heats. And the people who get to the games will really be the best competitors who deserve to be at the games. So we're excited about these changes for the direction it's taken it. And, it'll be fun to watch develop.
That's big news, almost enough to maybe entice like a 4-time champion back into individual competition. I don't know. Big news from the director of the games, director of the CrossFit Games, Dave Castro. Thank you to all the athletes. Fantastic job. That concludes our coverage of the 2014 Reebok CrossFit Games Invitational presented by HGST. Thanks for joining us tonight, and we'll see you when 2015 kicks off.